Okay, well, I am working on my organ again. And this time I had foot pedals making the baffle here vibrate. And it's because I tightened it too much. I had it off at one point and tightened it too tight. So apparently these mounting screws here and there, there's 3 of them. They have to be kind of not very tight to absorb the vibration from the foot pedal, so it doesn't transfer it to the speaker or the baffle. But anyway, what I didn't show you last time was the rotating baffle. And so there it is, spinning away. The speaker doesn't rotate, just the baffle, and it makes it sound like a vibrato effect. And there it is slowing down. So there's a smaller speaker here. Actually, it has a much bigger speaker there when you're not using. But here is a smaller speaker and it's not as loud, but you can just turn it up, you know, with the volume pedal. And so that's just a mounted speaker, but it has a rotating baffle around it turned by this motor. And in my previous video, I had bypassed this connector because I thought it was very old and wanted to make sure I was getting a good connection to everything. And this time I noticed after I did that repair that this was slipping, like the belt was slipping. The motor was turning fine, but the belt was just sitting there sliding. So I used some belt dressing that I got off of Amazon. And it's an automotive product for like tractors and cars and things, but you can put it, I put it on my dryer belt and I put it on this, but I didn't spray it. I just sprayed some into a cup and then put it on with a Q-tip, and then would move the belt as I covered it, or got some on there. So I make sure the whole belt is covered, or got some on it, not really covered, but just some on the entire belt. And that really worked. That was the thing that really made the baffle spin. So that problem is completely fixed, but I still have one foot pedal that's vibrating something, and I guess I'll have to figure that out later. I'm not sure what it's causing to vibrate here. But one is better than half of the pedals before. Half of the pedals were making this thing just vibrate like crazy because it was too tight, so something else was vibrating here. It could have been the styrofoam baffle or the speaker itself. So, don't know. And I still don't know. The E-flat pedal lets off a crazy vibration on something in here. You really don't notice it that much while you're playing, but you do when half of them do that. It starts to sound a little bit strange. So anyway, that is the latest on maintaining this organ and keeping it running. What I did when I first got it here, it came from my parents' house, but when I first got it here, I took all these circuit boards out and cleaned these connectors here, put some circuit cleaner on every connector, on every board, because there's boards down here, there's boards over there, boards everywhere across this entire thing. So it was a lot of getting the dust. It had been sitting for decades with minimal use. I mean, people would turn it on and play it, but by the time I got it here, it was just noisy and crackly and really hard to use. You know, some things not even sounding properly. So there, it's right now the only current problem I have is that one E-flat foot pedal vibrating, and probably with just one, I don't think I'll notice it while I'm playing. You know, this organ has a lot of like what you would call anomalous artifacts when you're playing. You put on the reverb or the vibrato or something, and just some note will have just some kind of after effect. It goes bang after you when you let it go or something. So there's just a lot of like crazy sounds that go on if you start using the effects, basically. So anyway, that is the latest in my maintenance of this organ, of which I'm trying to learn to play better, but I'm still not that great. I've been working on some of my original songs, because I have a few songs that have a lot of orchestration, and so they work good on the organ, but it'll take time to really learn them. In the meantime, I have, I think, a hungry cat. Yes. Not completely, entirely happy with the service that's been provided. All right, Katie, I'm going to unplug this right now so you don't get crawling there and get electrocuted. All right, goodbye. Thank you. Thanks for coming.